Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, a weekly comedy talk show that dives into the personal lives of comedians, experts, and creators. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, a very amateur stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed sad girl. It's the comedy podcast with a lot of heart. Feel hard and talk hard. This is the Intoxicated Podcast.
To do me and Matt, right? We're going to start did you ever watch the OC? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we were like kind of like getting things in order to do like an OC like rewatch podcast.
Oh
and then right before we did, the like Rachel Bilson and Melinda Clark, who like Summer and Julie Cooper like started one. We're like, well, never mind.
I guess not. You still could. You could put a spin on it somehow. Like maybe do something a little different than what they do.
If you're going to listen to an OC rewatch podcast, you're going to want to listen to the Summers and the Julie Coopers.
Can't lie to you on that. What about an NSYNC podcast?
I mean, I don't think I could find anyone that would want to do that with
honestly,
me.
like the more specific the idea, the better.
True.
In podcasting, I find like if you could hit the NSYNC, the poppy 2000s like type of people, like that would be all. I just also love music podcasts.
Oh yeah,
like ones that just like break down like certain songs. Or I'm a Swiftie, so there's this one called the 13 podcast where they literally each episode is just a song that they like break down all the verses. They go into like the history of like what was going on with her at the time of the song.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that with NSYNC. Like let's really break down bye.
What do they mean when they sang bye? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, well we'll get right into her. We'll get this started because you got plans soon, so I don't want to keep you too long. Everybody, oh my gosh, welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I am so excited today because I have a super duper special guest. Comedian and writer Heidi Brander is here.
What's up?
And guys, I mean, if you are a loyal listener who's been listening since the beginning, you might remember Heidi. But if not, pick you up to speed on this. You were my first comedian.
So do you do like numbered episodes?
Yes.
Like, so what number episode is this?
So this is you will be episode 231.
Whoa. So, and I was also like episode like what, like 2 or 4?
54.
Oh, okay. So first comedian, not
first comedian. Okay. Yeah. So before I had you on, I was just doing like friends and like people I knew. And then I had you on and see, cause I thought, when I was thinking back to it, I was like, oh, I think I had another local comic around the same time as you. But it was like 10 episodes later that I got into like the local Halifax people. So you jump-started it being a comedy podcast.
I was so funny that you had to put on more funny folks.
Well, I just remember because I saw you at a show and I stalked you. And then I was like, I really like this bitch. So I'm going to ask her. Shoot your shot with people, everybody. That's the lesson.
God, yeah. So nice.
Shoot your shot. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Heidi. So you've been in Halifax for a while now.
Oh, yeah. So long. So long.
How long? Like almost a year?
Oh, like I thought you meant like just in general, like in terms of like I've been working on the show for a long time, but I've been here since last August.
Okay,
and it was like full summer. There was like a kite festival going on.
Oh my god,
yeah. But I'm leaving on Tuesday.
You're leaving on Tuesday, and you bounce around a lot. Like,
oh yeah, I have 3 different apartments currently.
Is that weird?
Yeah, like people ask me where I live, and I'm like, I don't know, and I like truly don't know. So it's a bit awkward, but I guess I identify as living in Los Angeles now. And then I work here. And then I have an apartment in Toronto that is being subletted by a comedian and writer, Aisha Brown.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. That must be nice to like sublet to someone you know and trust.
Oh my God. I had like nightmare tenants. Like I had like a drag queen who would do shows in my apartment. And I'd get like noise complaints all the time because they'd be doing like fucking death drop, like Zoom shows during the pandemic. They'd be doing like death drops. I have a lot of drag queens live in my apartment. And then there was like another drag queen who like put all of his drag on the porch, ignored it for the entire winter. And then everything just got raided by pigeons. So I had to like pay like thousands of dollars to get like an exterminator. Anyway, whatever. This is not what your podcast listeners want to hear.
I mean, but hey,
don't sublet your apartments to drag queens is what I'm saying.
Lessons. And if you are a drag queen, don't do that.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions about all drag queens, but they have a lot of stuff.
They have a lot of stuff. All the wigs.
Oh my God. And like, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, you don't put your drag on an outdoor balcony when there's pigeons around. Anyway.
But oh my gosh, so all over the place. But LA is kind of calling your heart right now.
Yeah. I mean, I got my green card, which was like my greatest life achievement.
That's amazing.
It's so hard to get. And then and then I moved there, but then pandemic happened. And then I literally have a joke about it. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And then I had to move back. But
don't you love that thing that uprooted all of our lives?
Oh my God. Like going to like follow your dreams, walking past the Hollywood sign to being stuck with your parents in like a bedroom in PEI.
Isn't that's fucking tough? Because you got a taste of it. You were like so close.
I was so close. I mean, I can still go back. Like it's not, I'm going back on Tuesday, which would be nice, but I haven't really given it like a fair shot yet. Like, so,
right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, this is your fair shot. Oh my gosh. LA. Oh, the weather. Oh, must be so nice.
It's really nice. Like, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, and again, I haven't given it a fair shot yet, but like, I really like it. Like, I don't find, people find it stressful. I don't find it stressful. I'm in a very walkable neighborhood. I live with my best friend. Like, it's very like cool.
That's amazing. And is that where Sophie is now too?
Yeah, Sophie Buttle. Oh my God. And Sophie I can't wait to go like eat weed edibles and play Mario Kart with Sophie Buttle and Mace Galone. My little babies.
Oh, well and that alone just makes moving somewhere so much better. Like knowing that you have friends around you. And like, must be. So you're literally going from one coast to the other.
Oh, the flight is a nightmare. That's because I do miss it when I'm there. Like I miss it here when I'm there, and I miss it there when I'm here. And like just even thinking about the distance is kind of like, it makes me nauseous. Cause like it's it's like a 3-hour flight to Toronto and then like a 5.5 hour flight to LA, but like, back to back to back. So it's a long.
Are you a good traveler? Do you travel well?
Yeah. I mean, since the pandemic, like I've gotten very spoiled, and I will not travel without like an airport lounge pass. Like I gotta get in that lounge, and I gotta like have some drinks and just like, but and like I do splurge on like the fancy, not the like business class or anything, but like, like preferred seating, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the little comforts that will make your trip better.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm cheap in all other aspects of my life, but like that, I'm like, I gotta fucking ball out on the airport, man.
Everyone has their area of which they splurge.
Yeah.
We were talking about this beforehand about skincare, and just number one, it is so pricey to have good skin.
Oh, totally.
And it's not fair. Because guys wash their face with a bar of soap and
and then they have like 3 furrowed brow lines and they look distinguished. Like I'm like, fuck you, George Clooney. But then like, I have like one and I'm like, my God, I gotta get rid of you.
It's crazy how little they do. Like they just incorporate like moisturizer and all of a sudden they're glowing.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like if you look in my bathroom, it's like a witch's potion collection of serums and stuff. And it's
you have good skin, but I have a question. Have you always been like that? Like, did you moisturize when you were like a kid?
I used to be so bad. I used to like not take off all my makeup at night. Wasn't that big into it. Like I would say like late teens, early 20s. But then like when like mid 20s start to hit, I started getting really bad skin because I just wasn't taking care of it properly.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have like acne or anything?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I get the chin. The chin is my problem area, and the forehead sometimes, but it's very hormonal and cystic. Like deep under the skin. So it's not like the red speckles that you would normally see. It's like the fucking hard, painful.
I hate that when it hurts. Oh God, yeah.
It's literally the worst. And I've struggled with it forever, but like I'm committed now. Like I'm more committed to my skincare than any other part of like I don't know, hygiene or whatever. Like I very much so. Like no matter how drunk I am.
I can like me too.
But pretty much I'm like, it's that half hour at the end of the day that's like, okay, I do triple cleanse. So I go off, like I use like cleansing oil and then a micellar water and then a cleanser to get everything off, which is 3 washes, Heidi.
Well, I don't even know what the second thing is. Cellar water?
Micellar water. It's like the Garnier. It's like a makeup remover, but it pretty much like gets all the residue off.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're not thinking of. So, and then there's a bunch of other steps after that. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. But I'm committed.
See, I used to my saving grace, because I feel like I have okay skin now, but I have been moisturizing hard since I was like 12 years old, because I used to wear a ton of self-tanner because I'm so pale. So I would be like orange, like an orange teen walking around, but you have to moisturize everything in order to put on self-tanner. So I like accidentally started moisturizing early just because I wanted to be like
for the purpose of self-tan.
Yeah. But I'm like obviously like so pale that it looked insane.
The moisturizing is so fucking key. I only just learned that I've been moisturizing incorrectly. So there's this like technique that's called the 3-step moisture technique. And what this is, like, if your skin's really feeling it, and like now that I'm on this intense skincare, it's drying out and it really needs extra moisture. What you're supposed to do is wet your face first. And then this magic ingredient, hyaluronic acid, which is like very hydrating. It's just like a really good skincare item. You go in with the serum while your face is still wet, and it locks in the moisture, and then you go in with your moisturizer. But you have to do it all while everything is still wet. So usually we're taught with layering, you let things dry.
Yeah,
and then you go in.
This shit all wrong,
right? So I only recently learned about this, and have started doing it, and I don't know if it's working, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. I gotta start splooshin' everything on my face while it's still wet. All right.
Exactly. Do you use serums or anything?
I use like this thing from, what the fuck is it called? The Ordinary or whatever. It's called Buffet. And but it's the blue kind, like the more expensive one.
Oh,
I know, I'm very fancy. It's like, it's blue and it stinks.
Yeah.
I use that. And then I also got this thing from there that's called like neck elasticity serum or like something like that, because I'm like, I need to have a good ass neck. And then I just use Kiehl's for moisturizer nice. Because one of my really good friends, his name's Zachary Pierce. I used to be in a drag queen band with him. It's a long story. But oh my God, I love Zachary Pierce so much. If I ever have an opportunity to meet him, please do. But he works at Kiehl's. He's like a big time guy manager at Kiehl's. And so he's got the best skin I've ever seen in my life. And he's been working at Kiehl's for like 25 years or something crazy, like since he was like a teen. And he just looks amazing. So I'm like, Kiehl's works. He's like number one testament to the fact that Kiehl's works, because he doesn't have a wrinkle on his goddamn face.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, Kiehl's is up there.
Oh yeah.
For price.
Oh my God, it is up there.
But you're doing it right, where you're getting your serums from The Ordinary, which is more cost effective. Like they're on the more affordable end of skincare. And then splurging on the moisturizer. SPF is also something I never used to do, and it's super important. Mm-hmm. And I slacked on that for a long time. I just wouldn't put SPF on.
Oh, you gotta.
I wouldn't even think.
I'm like a sunscreen like whore now, but just because I'm like, I don't want to get like skin cancer and stuff. Like my family, people in my family have had it, and I'm just like, I don't want to bring up cancer in this comedy podcast, but it's like, you got to be careful of the old pants.
Everyone, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Use your SPF, moisturize.
Like, what did you talk about on the podcast? How did cancer? Okay.
Don't smoke. Also, don't smoke. I'm big on telling my friends not to smoke. I'm kind of shameless about it at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've lost so many friends.
Unless you're drinking, then it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah, don't do it every day. That's my thing. But I just want my friends to live. Okay.
Yeah.
I want y'all to be alive for longer. So this is awesome. I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to get into the first segment. We're going to kick it off with this one always stresses me out, but we're doing it. The assumption segment.
I cannot wait to hear this. Oh my God.
So the reason I do this segment is to like chop away at perceptions, because like we're not close friends, but I watch you on social media and I stalk you and stuff. So I'm gonna make some assumptions about you based on what I know, and you're gonna tell me if they're right, wrong, or what. And these are, again, probably fucking dumb assumptions, because I kind of feel like I'm right. Probably. Okay.
I'm sure if they're at all nice, you're wrong about all of them. Oh my God.
First assumption. You are someone who goes hard on Halloween.
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Okay, good.
That's such a good assumption to make about me, and so true.
Because I didn't see any specific Halloween posts on your Instagram, but I saw a lot of costumes and a lot of like outfits. So
that's what I mean. I dress up in costume like most days of my life. So like, why wouldn't I go hard on Halloween?
So is there ever a Halloween that you don't dress up?
Honestly, like it's made me actually really like, so when I first got this job at 22, I was literally in the middle with one of my good friends, Santiago. He was going to be the Hamburglar for Halloween. And he's like a really, really good artist. And we were crafting me a giant Mayor McCheese head. So like out of like foam stuff and like painting it like with air paint or whatever. And like, I was going to be Mayor McCheese for Halloween and it was going to be the best night of my life because my favorite thing in the world are costumes that you can't move in. I think they're so funny. Like when you're like accidentally like bashing someone over with your huge hamburger head.
Oh my God.
So like, and then I got this job and I couldn't go out for Halloween with him. And he was super nice about it. But like literally in his storage space, there's still a half-made Mayor McCheese head. And like, since I've been working here every Halloween, like, you know, like there's just no time to like really do it up. And like, so I haven't actually gone hard on Halloween. What am I talking about? A few years ago, I was back in Toronto for Halloween and I went as Rosie O'Donnell from the Rosie O'Donnell show. And I made this like huge like desk to sit behind and I like put on a blazer and stuff and it was really fun. So like, yeah, I love a cumbersome costume, but yeah, it hasn't been the same in a while. But
it's hard as an adult because
and even just like here, you don't this is not my home. Like I don't have a lot of stuff. You know, I don't have a lot of space either. So like, you know, it feels kind of like, That and
I think it all depends on your Halloween plans.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't have Halloween plans, then you're just kind of getting dressed up for I guess you could just dress up for yourself.
Oh, and I mean, like I used to live in the Village. Like my apartment in Toronto is in the Village. And so it would be like my whole street would just be like people in like the craziest costumes. So like if you didn't have a awesome costume, you're like, you know, a pariah.
You're shunned.
Yeah.
Shunned a little bit. You're a woman of my own heart because I'm the same way. I fucking love costumes, love Halloween, love dressing up. I hate when I see a woman just put cat ears on.
No.
I'm just like, you are the worst. Do more.
Yeah.
If you're either do nothing or do more.
Do nothing. Stay in your house. Turn off your lights. Don't give kids candy. Do absolutely nothing. Or go hard.
Or commit. Do something. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So I'm right about the Halloween.
I love that.
On that same subject, I just wrote that one of your love languages must be theme parties.
Oh my God.
Okay, sweet.
I love a theme party.
I can see you being, dare I say, competitive.
I feel like you've been like looking at some of my photos because I've had some very distinct theme parties. I once had like an Arrested Development party.
That's amazing.
Oh man, it was so fun. I think I did like I was like a never nude. It was like I was wearing like a nude bodysuit and like jean shorts. Oh my God. What is some other? And twice. Two of the worst parties I've ever thrown because they ended in fights. But I had like it's called, oh God, I mean, it was called Stains and Lanes, but like the name has like a long history that I can't get into. But like it was basically you wore only white clothing and then you could only drink red wine or like Jägermeister or like a colored drink.
Oh my God.
So, and then the night would inevitably end with people like throwing drinks at each other and people would get into a fight.
That sounds amazing.
It was really fun. But like, yeah, once me and my sister got in a fight because she had just started dating my brother-in-law and I got her, she was wearing like a cute white outfit and I threw a drink at her and then she was like, you ruined my white shirt. And I'm like, you came to a purposeful stain party and we got in a big fight and then she threw my birthday cake in my face. It was a lot. And then
the whole cake?
Yeah, the whole cake. It was funny though, but you know, not at the time. And then like another time my guy I know and another guy had started dating. It's mostly like people bringing dates to this and it's not an appropriate venue for dates. Like if you're just going to get like red wine dumped on your head.
Not a good time for it. When you said, what was it called? Stains and
Lanes? Because we used to call shots of Jaeger Diane Lanes for some. You know when you have friends and you have like weird nicknames for stuff and you can't remember why.
Yeah, anyway. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That reminds me of I used to see people doing parties that were like you wore all white and you would just have to paint, like there was like colored paint everywhere and you would like
fun,
like just cover yourself in paint. And I'm like, that sounds so fun. I feel like as an adult these things don't happen anymore.
We got to bring them back.
We truly got to bring them back.
We are young at heart in our friendship circles and we got to really fight to retain our youth.
The fucking parties, like college parties that were like low-key problematic.
Oh, high-key problematic. I went to Queens. They were all problematic.
Were they?
Oh my God.
Did you have stoplight parties?
What are those?
Which is like you wear green for like, yes, you can hit on me.
No.
Like yellow for like, you can do it, but take your time. And like red is like, I'm not single. I'm off limits.
Interesting. Oh, I've never been to one of those.
So
I just went to like parties where people were like I once like, oh God, a bunch of guys, like I was trying to show off and I like funneled a rev and then I like barfed everywhere. I mean, I had some nice guy friends for Queens, but I heard some stories.
Funneling a rev would be awful.
Oh, like suicide.
Do they still exist?
Revs, yes. Oh. I can't drink one anymore though because I funneled one and then I barfed everywhere.
Oh.
Barfing blue, you can't really come back from that.
Barfing blue is bad. There was definitely a period of like my life, my partying life, that I was only drinking blue drinks. Like Revs and what were the Blue Lagoons? It would be like Blue Croco and like pineapple juice and Sprite or something, like some sort of mixture like that. It was delicious. But like those sugary drinks, yeah, they make you sick.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine drinking one of those now.
Right? Now I'm like, I mean, White Claws are good. But I go for like bland drinks now just because like a vodka soda with lemon. I'm like, I'm getting hydrated. Like,
yeah, refreshing.
No hangover tomorrow. It's great. Okay, so next assumption. This is a common sense assumption. I feel like a lot of these are common sense just based on if you were to look at your Instagram. But I also feel like we will bond over this. You're a fangirl. When you like something, when you like a band, you are a fangirl. Not everyone is a fan type of person.
When I like something, I'm like deep dive. And then all of a sudden, to the point where I get like tired, like I have to exhaust myself of it. Like I have to you know, right now I'm really into NSYNC and like I'm really back into Britney. Like I've gotten back into like nostalgia stuff from my youth, but like I left, like it's not like I've been obsessed with that for like the last 20 years. Like I go through phases and then when I'm in the phase, I need to just exhaust myself of it so that I can't even
so that you're almost sick of it. Yeah. It's like when you eat the same food all the time. Yeah. Eventually you're just like, I don't want to eat that food anymore. I still like that food, but I'm not going to eat it for a bit.
Oh my God. Yeah. And like, it's like with music too. Cause like I've never really had, and I'm not like ashamed of I just really love pop music all the time.
Yes, Heidi.
So, and you know, I remember like my friend Bob Kerr, I don't know if you ever had Bob Kerr on your podcast, but he's like really into sad music. And he like was talking about how he just loves like listening to sad music and like being sad and just like sitting in that. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta like walk around to like pop, 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 pop. Like
if you steal my sunshine. Yeah.
Or if it's not like pop, it's like Broadway or like, you know what I mean? And it sounds like deranged, but I'm like, I have my own brain to be sad. And I want to, if I like, you know, if I'm listening to music, that's like my escape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely two approaches to sadness. One is like,
none of them are wrong.
You cheer yourself up or you lean into it. And I'm a huge fan of like the depression dance, like forcing yourself to dance to like a pop song that you love just to like get that serotonin.
Well, I mean, honestly, like the perfect pop person is Robin because Robin combines like the saddest lyrics with like the funnest music. So like it's like the best of both worlds, but
happy sounding sad song.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
Carley Rae Jepsen does that too. I really like Carley Rae Jepsen.
I was going to bring her up because I know that you saw her live in concert.
Yeah, I love her. I love her so much.
She is my Lord and Savior.
Oh my God.
I'm not even joking when I say that.
And it makes me honestly insane when people are like, yeah, Call Me Maybe. I'm like, Call Me Maybe is her worst song.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Her best album is Emotion Side B.
Yes, Heidi. Yes. I also like the newer ones.
Oh, I love the newer ones too. Dedicated and Dedicated. I love that she's just doing like B-sides too. Like from now on every album, it's like, give us the B-sides though, Carly.
They're normally better than the A-sides.
I know they really are.
It's insane. She really is so incredibly, I can't believe.
If I met her, I would pass out. I would definitely pass out or a barf or something. I love her so much.
So I know someone in the Halifax comedy scene. He's a newer comic, friend of mine, who literally has, I'm going to pull it up, So like I posted something somewhat recently about Carley Rae, and he's like, I know her. I told you about this, right? That I know Carley. And I was like, what? Explain, please. And then he sends me this, which is a prom picture.
He went to prom, or he went to
went to prom like with someone else, but like Carley.
Oh my God.
Was like in his friend group.
And like my favorite thing about Carley Rae Jepsen, secretly old.
How old is she?
I mean, she's not old, but
older.
Like, I mean, and I did used to do a bit about her in stand up that like I hate now because it was a bit rude. I wouldn't say mean, but it was a bit rude to her. It was just kind of like when she first came out, like, I'm a baby, call me maybe. Can you please return my call? Here's my number. And it's like, you're 35. Like,
oh my God,
but
right?
No, I think at the time she might have been like, I think now she's got to be like 37 or something like that.
She is 36. She was born November 21st, 1985.
Yeah, but her first
36.
single I think came out when she was like maybe 28, and it was like, goo goo gaga, I'm a baby. Hey, can you call me maybe?
So I don't know, how much of a deep dive have you done into Carley Rae?
I know every single one of her songs, like word, like I can sing it.
Do you know of the Jepsen effect?
No, what's that? Oh my God.
So this guy, and listen guys, apparently like there was Me Too stuff that came out about him, but he's like a music producer who did this like very much so a deep dive into Carley Rae. It was either the Jepsen effect or the Jepsen pattern. But essentially he analyzed her entire collection of music and found out that all of her songs they hit one of like a few themes. Like there's reoccurring themes in her songs, and none of them are happy.
Yeah.
They're all about wanting love, the pursuit of love, or losing love.
Or like not wanting love. Like there's like a couple songs that it's kind of like haha, you're fine, but
right?
that I like love listening to.
None of them are like, I love you and I got you and we're happy. Like all of it is heartbreak. And there's all these themes, like he breaks it down as like, you know, reference to running away and like unrequited, like, and he'll like map them throughout her songs. And so like anytime she comes up with a new song, it's like, did she or did she not pass the Jepsen effect? Like, did she do something outside of what she's, I fucking love it though. I eat it up. I'm like, oh, I love this.
My friend Brad Ashley, he like, he's really funny. He produces like Drag Race and stuff. He's like one of my favorite people in the world. And he used to throw Carley Rae Jepsen themed parties in Toronto, and like they were huge. They were so massive. Like they were. I wish he would start doing them again at post pandemic. Maybe if he's listening to this, hint,
do it. Bring them back.
He had like a really good word for it. I can't remember it. It's like like damaged or like something. It's not like in a mean way, but it's like you know, like if you're a bit damaged, like you love Carley Rae Jepsen. He had a really good word for it. I can't remember what it is.
It's truly, if you really if you really deep dive into her songs, it's heartbreaking. But yet she has this Disney princess voice. She played fucking Frenchie in Grease in the
she was great,
the TV version of Grease. Like she has this really cute, beautiful voice, and the songs are poppy and fun, and yet so sad.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I love it.
My favorite song of hers is Cut to the Feeling, which I don't think it passes the Jepsen effect, because it's all like, I want to dance on the roof with you. And it's like, oh, what? But man, the rest of her stuff, like, oh, it cuts deep.
It cuts deep. Yeah, it is the Jepsen pattern. So the guy who did it is Max Landis, who again, apparently is problematic.
That guy?
Yeah, he's apparently problematic. Do you know him?
Are you kidding me?
Oh no, who is he?
Is that the guy? His father's a director?
Maybe.
I feel like, oh my God, I think like there's some guy whose dad's a director who was like accused of like drugging people and sexually assaulting them and stuff. And fun fact about that, the first time I went to LA, I think it was Adam Christie. I'm not saying Adam Christie knows Max Landis, but like I was with Adam Christie and a bunch of other people. Like I don't like, and we all ended up at Max Landis's house, his pool.
What? Holy shit! Yeah,
I just looked him up. He says American writer and filmmaker, son of director John Landis.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Adam. I was with Adam Abdul, but Will Weldon and like a couple other people. But my God, we ended up like, it was like, let's go to this party. Like so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so knows so-and-so who knows so-and-so who's like throwing a 4th of July party. And it was Max Landis's party.
What? He did like, there's a whole website about this Jepsen effect.
Whoa. Oh man, I was so into this guy's theory. And now I'm like, well, but you're gross.
It's 150 pages long, the theory. The whole document is 150 pages.
I can't believe he was able to write that when he's so busy sexually assaulting people.
Right?
Crazy.
Right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in this case, I'm like, I had read all of this theory stuff before I found out.
Whoa, that guy. Ugh.
And I had posted a bunch of like Instagram stories about it, and then someone was like, yeah, you know, he's not great, right? And I was like, I did not. Thank you for telling me. But man, there's a bunch of YouTube videos that break down her songs and how they're so like just the composition of them and like the notes she uses are like genius. Because like Run Away With Me has that sax at the start. That literally, like you just did that and I have chills. And that was you just doing it. I just love her so much. I could talk about it. Let's start a Carley Rae podcast.
Let's do a Carley Rae podcast.
I would do that, Heidi.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Don't even tempt me because like we could do it remotely. You could patch in from LA. I'm just saying. I could produce it and edit it and make sure it goes out. I'm just saying. Carley Rae is underappreciated. I could analyze
her lyrics forever.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. All right. Everyone's just like, holy shit, you guys.
Stop. First skincare, now Carley Rae. Oh my God.
So those are my assumptions about you.
Well, they're all correct.
You're a fangirl. You love theme parties. You go hard on Halloween. I don't think I have any others. So those were good, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, obviously,
spot on.
I just assume that you're very cool and fun to hang out with and a great person.
Well, I was like, if those were on the list, I was going to be like, no.
Are you an extrovert or introvert?
I actually have no idea. So here's the funny thing. I like once for like $100, someone at CBC, this was before I worked at CBC. So there's a tape somewhere in the archives, but like someone like paid me $100 to take this personality test. And the personality test, there was so many questions. And it was basically this psychologist was trying to prove to CBC that he could predict exactly how a person would do on a reality TV show. So if it was like Big Brother Canada or whatever, and you want to cast this person through this personality test, like how would this person do on a reality show? And then for my results in front of like all these CBC people, he was like, you're weird. And I was like, why? And then he's like, cause you're equal parts like introvert and extrovert, which I know is like a thing. I'm kind of both.
Omnivert or something it's called.
Yeah, but like it was basically, he told me that I would kind of be like smile and nod. Like, yeah. Like I'd be super like happy and like interested in hanging out with people and being like, yeah, everything's great. Let's have a blast for like the first, couple weeks. And then I would get so tired of people that I would have a fucking like meltdown and like throw tables and stuff. Cause I would just be like, get out of my way. Cause I know myself and I know I do need to like
recharge.
Yeah. I might get like my recharging energy, whatever, from like being alone 100%. But if I'm alone for too long, I like will go nuts too.
Because some introverts, I gotta say, boring and shy. But like when you meet someone who's like very sociable and like they like hanging out, they like to like it's like, yeah, you're an extrovert. But also you might have to recharge by being alone. I don't actually understand full extroverts at this point.
Me neither.
I might have used to be one, but I think pandemic has made me like actually like people anymore.
I mean, like, and I don't feel like it's strange to be both. Like, I mean, I don't know anybody that is like 100% all the time. Like, gotta be like in everyone's face. Cause like, even like, so my best friend, I don't think you know him, but his name is Andrew Johnston. He's like, if you were in the comedy community, he's like, you would think he's the most extroverted person you've ever met in your entire life. And for him, like now that I live with him, it's like, he will be like that and then hide in his room for like 3 days.
Because they have to, because there's so much output.
Yeah, exactly.
And what they do that like, it's like me talking about doing 3 podcasts in a row. I'm like, I'm stoked to do this, but like I will go into hermit mode right after.
Oh yeah.
Where I just don't talk to anybody and just scroll TikTok. It's needed.
You need that for sure.
Especially when you're older. Because your energy just goes way down.
Oh my God, 100%. That being said, I think I have like crazy FOMO. So like if something's happening and I'm not there for it, I'm like, I'm always assuming if I'm missing something, it's going to be like life-changing and like the best time that anyone's ever had in their life.
Yes. So do you sometimes do things when you maybe shouldn't?
Yes, all the time.
just to be sure that you got the experience.
Oh yeah, like I will like exhaust myself to the point of like, like making myself sick because I'm like, I have to be here though. I can't miss anything.
Yes. Have you been to? Oh, I mean, actually, you have because I saw the Carley Rae Jepsen concert. Have you been to a lot of events and concerts like post COVID?
I wish I could say no, but yeah.
Yeah. How have you found that? Have you found it strange?
It's been, I mean, because COVID has been like, I mean, I'm a slave to the media and like, I'm always like, oh, like the newspaper says, so like, you know, and everything's like the media is not I'm not going to be like the media is not trustworthy, but like, I don't know, like I was in LA and the pandemic was apparently over. So I went to see like Christina Aguilera, but it was open like outside, like everything was like, I was still really nervous about it, but like I still haven't gotten COVID, which is crazy. Cause I've been doing a bunch of stuff all the time.
Dude, me too. I'm pretty convinced that I might have just worked through it.
Yeah. Like you just didn't have you didn't have symptoms and you just were like, well, okay.
Yeah. Cause like as someone like I consider myself a workaholic. I feel like I'm always just burning the candle at both ends and always kind of tired. And when you're a workaholic and you're that tired all the time, you kind of always feel like you have the flu. So
yeah.
You're like, this is just my life. And I'm like, I might have had it and just not known. And I just powered through. But it is a strange feeling when you're like, when's it gonna get me?
But then also like, I mean, most of the people I know, like when they got it. Like it was like even like post booster and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna knock on all the wood, but
right.
Because I really don't want it, but I'm kind of like, how have I not gotten it yet? I've been definitely doing stuff.
It's very bizarre. But yeah, I recently did my first like out at a bar experience with no mask. Like since in Halifax they just lifted the mask mandate. I went to an emo night.
Ooh.
And it was a culture shock because it was just full blown normal. No one had masks and it was packed and everyone was just grinding up against each other and like mosh pitting. And I was like, my soul needed this and I'm so happy to be here, but I'm scared. I was just like doing this.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, one of the first times, like, and this would have been like before Omicron and like, but post Delta, when I was in LA at Christmas, I went to like this bar called Akbar around the corner from my house. And it's just like dancy, fun. And everyone was unmasked.
Yeah.
Cause there was no mask mandates, but it was like, we're all boosted. We're double boosted. Like we're all fine. Whoop-de-doo. And, I like was like, woohoo, had fun. The next day I came home and I woke up and I had like one of those alerts on my phone that was like, someone next to you had COVID. And I was like, of course. And I like, yeah, I was such a basket case for the next couple of days, just being like, I think I have COVID. Like there's been so many,
oh my God, yeah,
like exposures that I've been around, but I still haven't gotten it for some reason. It's weird. Knock on wood.
Knocking on all the wood and watch us both now get it from each other somehow.
Oh God.
No, it's crazy. So next segment. So I love this one because I do think people bond over, I think it's funner to bond over what we hate and what's pissing us off. So I'm curious to hear your rant.
Oh, my rant.
What is pissing you off? What's bugging you? Pop off. It's your time.
Like, I'm trying to think of a good one for this. And I can't really, like, I'm like, oh God. Because, like, all my rants are about, like, work stuff. Like, I mean, you should hear, like, ask Travis one day. Like, oh my God. It's like, that's my job at work. I'll just, like, walk into the room and be like, ah. And, like,
I would love to be a fly on the wall for all that behind the
like,
scenes
so much,
stuff.
Like, interpersonal, like, drama. But, so, like, right now what's going on at work is that it's the last day on Monday. It's the last day. And I have like literal trauma from this job I used to have where I was the department assistant and I would have to like buy the cards for people's birthdays and like get the cake, like order the cake from the cake company. Like, you know, all that like kind of like assistant-y stuff.
Yes.
And it was like, it was like I was kind of like the department like punching bag where like they'd be like, oh my God, Heidi got like a chocolate cake when she knows we all want carrot. And then the next month I would get carrot and they'd be like, oh my God, carrot not in April? What are you, crazy? Like
just like you couldn't do anything right.
I just couldn't do anything right. I would never get the right card. I would never get the right cake. I would never like all the like little decisions for like stuff that didn't matter. I could never do properly. And so, you know, like when it like, you know, sometimes at the end of the year, people will get people presents and like, we thanks for this. Like, here's a present. And I hate doing that stuff. Like, I'm like, I'm nice and I treat you like a person all year and I'm very nice to you and I am not mean. And that is the gift to you for working with me is that I'm a nice person who is nice and normal. And do I need to give you a Shoppers Drug Mart gift card at the end of the year to prove to you that I like we're friends and we're cool? Like, do I need to do that? So I'm kind of like, maybe we're not going to do the present thing this year. And then there's a couple people that work from home and they're like, so are we doing the present thing? And I'm like, no. And they're like, are you sure? Like, that seems rude. And I'm like, you don't need to buy the presents or get the cards or do the wrapping or like sign the thing. And like, and I have to chase you down for money too because it's expensive and like half the time people don't pay me back and I hate like nagging people anyway. So like this is my rant. No. Just like if your output for getting this thing accomplished involves sending me an e-transfer and that's it, like maybe don't guilt. I don't know. I'm
maybe
just like,
don't bitch about it.
Don't bitch about me not wanting to get people presents. And I know I'll feel guilty on Monday if people get me presents, but like half the time, I mean, not even half the time, most of the time they don't. It stresses me out. I hate like
it stresses me out too.
Work company stuff. Like that's why I went into comedy because I didn't want to have to sign the birthday cards and get the cupcakes and do the like all that office shit. Like I love my coworkers. I love every single one of my coworkers. I hate that weird corporate work stuff. Anyway, that's my rant.
Company potlucks, the worst.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Kill me.
I just hate potlucks in general because I feel like as someone who doesn't cook,
try your salad, Marge or whatever your fucking name is.
And I hate just the idea of like if you're someone who doesn't cook regularly and like you're not maybe good at it, that you have to now stress over what you're making to like impress people.
Oh my God.
And it's this whole thing. I fucking hate it. I don't like it. I'd rather order food in. Yes. Anytime it's my birthday, like I have a lot of friends who like for their birthdays will just do potlucks or like everyone bring a dish to the party. And I'm like, I'm going to be stressing about this for 2 weeks. What I'm going to bring. I just go take that $20 that you would have spent on ingredients and let's go out to eat.
And I mean, this might be part of a larger issue because like I feel like the two of us, we don't live like traditional lives. No. And so like I just have a lot of stress around like the normal, like, and I'm saying normal in air quotes, but like I made the cookies for the thing and like they're this because like, you know, if I like host and throw a party, I'm like, here's 70 solo cups and a fridge full of wine and beer, you know, like
yes, have at her.
But then sometimes you'll go to someone's house and it'll be like, and I've got a charcuterie board and like, here's the cocktail station and everything is like so nice and you're like, I don't know how to do that. I physically can't figure that out. Like it's like creates a lot of stress for me.
It's honestly, I just love when I find out that someone is trash. Or like trashy.
Yeah.
Trashy, like, or like they embrace that side of them because I'm like, we're gonna get along. Because like I don't get along with fancy people. It stresses me out. Like fancy restaurants, like I love a restaurant where it's just like very casual and like so when I'm in a fancy restaurant, I feel out of place.
Oh my God, yeah.
All the time. Like it's and gifts. Don't get me started on gifts. I fucking hate the obligation of gifts.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean it's like I'll, you know, if I didn't bring you a gift today, I'm sorry. But like, you know, if I was going to give you like a podcast gift, I would be like, here's like a bottle of wine. And like, I wouldn't even think to be like, here's the wine in a bag with the tissue paper and a little tiny card. Because for me, I don't care. I just want the wine. I don't care about the tissue paper or the bag or the card.
Right?
I'll just like, I don't know. What is it called? Like I'll bear wine it. I don't know. But
paper bag it. Like,
yeah, like here's the bag it came in.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't like, hopefully that's relatable, but like maybe I'll try to do a bit about it. But like, I'm just like, I don't care about.
I think the biggest scam of all is greeting cards because they're stupid and
they
literally end up in a recycling bag.
Oh my God.
They do.
I just like, I mean, I just got a birthday card from like all my coworkers too. And I'm like, you guys don't need to do this. But like reading all the like signatures is so funny because people just have like nothing to say. And like one girl, this girl, Erin, who I work with, who I love, just wrote, hope you like the card. And I'm like, great. Like that's a perfect card response. Like don't put like, have a special day, you wonderful babe. Like be like, hope you'll like this thing we got. I don't know.
I mean, it feels like you're signing some sort of weird yearbook.
Oh my God, it's true.
You're like pressured to write something impactful or something. Yeah. It's gift giving is, and just again, just those moments of where you're like, I don't know if I should bring a gift or not are always very stressful. I'm very big into, as an adult, no birthday gifts. Mm-hmm. And if you do get someone a gift, don't bring it to the party because you're going to make everyone else feel shitty who didn't bring a gift.
Yeah, I love joke gifts. Like if you'd written that as like an assumption, I would have been like, yes. Because there's nothing like something like a shitty inside joke from like 10 years ago that like you like give back to the person. At least, you know, something like that. But yeah, in terms of like sincere gifts, I'm like, no, I don't want to do. Or not even sincere gifts are even nice. But like, here's a obligatory thing that I need to get, like, I mean, flowers are sometimes nice. I don't know what I'm saying, but like, you know, like hey, we worked together for a whole year, so here's like a gift card. And I'm like, I'd rather you just have been nice to me all year, but you know, whatever, to each their own.
I'm a big quality time person. I would rather hang out than receive something.
Yeah.
You know, like from friends and stuff. But yeah, it's even worse when like it's a stranger or a coworker or like just someone like you don't, I don't know. Obligation gifts. Let's just get rid of that.
Yeah, exactly.
They shouldn't fucking exist.
That's my rant. Oh, baby.
I could pop
Taking
off
down
forever.
presents.
Yeah, I truly could. And like, no disrespect to people who do gift give. Like, I just don't get you.
Yes, and this is a dialogue. We can take calls from people that are really pro Shoppers Drug Mart gift cards.
Like, I love when like talk about love languages and shit, and someone's like, I have gift giving as a love language, and I just go, you must be rich.
I also hope this podcast comes up before Monday so I can send it to all my coworkers as an explanation about why they're not getting presents.
I'll just clip it for you. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that rant because I truly relate so hard. Okay, so now shifting gears. So I love this one because I always, whenever I look up to people, I just love to find out what their flaws are. So the next segment is what's wrong with you? So this doesn't have to be overly deep, but maybe just like something you're working on or something you're navigating in yourself.
I mean, like, I was trying to think about this, and I already said the FOMO thing, because like I'm like, that's a thing that I'm definitely working on, is like I really need to like not think that every time I miss a night is going to be the best night of everyone's life. Like I can stay home once in a while. But the other thing, I mean, there's so many things, but like the other thing that I thought of was that I like literally in person, I cannot take a compliment. Like someone called me out on this the other day, because like if someone like, because I was thinking, I don't know, like I really like getting compliments. Like I'm not crazy. Like I love it when people are like, you did a really good job. Like when someone emails me like complimentary stuff, like especially after I've like written something, it's like, oh, that was great. I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice. Thank you. But if someone says like, Heidi, like you're really fun, like that thing you wrote was really funny, or like to my face, I want to like run into traffic or like jump out a window. Like
really?
I like, or I'll just offset it with something that's like, I fucking hate myself. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy.
Do you argue it? Would you be the type to say, nah, wasn't that great? I could have done better.
Exactly. Like I'll immediately say, no, you're wrong. And like, but it's often like really dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember who was calling me out on it, but like, I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, like I'm really fucked up in that way. And I don't know, like if we're going to get in like deep and stuff, like my family's like really, we always like roast each other. Like I have a very funny family, and we're always just like, haha, like you're garbage. I mean, like in a more clever way than that, but like we're very like, no one in our family wins ever. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? We're always just like putting each other down, but in a funny way, which is like, comedy, whatever. Like we're all super self-deprecating, but like, it's weird when you bring that mentality outside the house and then, like a normal person was just like, oh, like that thing you wrote was hilarious. And I'll be like, shut up, you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
Where did it come from? Oh my gosh. Is there anything that you think that like, do you think you're going to just try to start saying thank you?
Yeah, like that's when you said like, what are you working on? Like I'm working on just kind of being like, thanks. Thank you.
I think that comes from a humbleness though, because so much of like when people compliment you because you're succeeding, like they're not seeing all the downsides of how you got to that point. Like, I guess like in your case, like if you wrote something really awesome, like something for 22 minutes that like obviously the final product was great and people enjoyed it. But like you're now going, oh, like that probably went through like 3 different iterations, or like you're thinking of all the struggles with that. So it's hard to go, thank you.
Oh yeah, it's like so hard for me to just to like not even like make like a commentary on it, like just be like thank you.
Yeah.
Like no, I've got to like tag it with like something like, even though I could have done better at this or that, you know what I mean? And but like on the other side of it, like when I see other people like bragging about like, I just wrote a thing and it was really good, I'm like, shut up.
Yikes.
So maybe I don't want to be like, I'm so humble, but like maybe it is just kind of like not a humbleness, but like a hatred of, not even hatred's a strong word, but like just like an annoyance of people that are like too confident.
Yeah. Well, because it's probably fake too. A lot of people fake confidence like that. And like sometimes it's good to brag about yourself, but I like the I did this thing and I'm proud of myself for doing this thing. Like that's kind of nice to see sometimes, but I feel what you're saying. Like it's just like,
God, yeah. Like, I mean, even, like it's funny too, because I was talking to like one of my friends about this, but like when someone you love is succeeding and they're like putting something on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, that's like, I just got this thing and I am so proud of myself and I worked so hard and I'm just going to sit here and be happy about it. And I'm always like, oh my God, I'm so proud of them and I love them so much. But if it's someone you don't like, you're like, haha, what a fucking loser.
Right? Right? Oh my gosh. Do you have like certain specific goals in your life in terms of career, like certain things that you want to accomplish?
I mean, like, there's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would like to be like a showrunner someday. I would like to like, maybe not of the show, but I would like to, create my own show and just keep like moving up the ladder the best that I can. Cause like, even this year, like, oh my God, like I've been working on 22 Minutes for so long. And then like Mark Critch got his own show and he hired me to work on it. And I'm going to start crying because it was like literally like life-changing. Like I've always wanted to get into like scripted TV and stuff. And like, yeah. And I just really didn't think it was going to happen ever. And then he like hired me for his show and I like love working on it so much. And it's so nice. So like that was like a huge step for me. And then, and like, I don't know, I'd like to start like pitching my own stuff, even just get some like something into like development. But I mean, I'm just really happy like writing on like a cool show set on the East Coast that is like,
hell yeah,
I can relate to a lot. Like it's set in the 80s and it's like about growing up. It's called Son of a Critch.
I was gonna say, is it that? It is that one? Okay, awesome.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, even just like watching the first episode, it was like, it's like set in the 80s and it's like, oh, and it's like, but it's very East Coast. And I'm like, I recognize those mugs,
Oh
and
my
it's like,
God, that's so
it's
funny.
just like really cool to be working on that. And then, but like that felt like a huge career step for me. And then like, one day, like I would like to just like maybe have my own show and like even if it doesn't even need to get made, but like, pie in the sky goals. Like I would love to get a show made, but like get a show even in development, like something that I write myself that comes from my own little brain. Yeah. And heart. Yeah.
And all these things you're doing is like giving you the skills to potentially get to there, which is so fucking cool. Like, yeah. Like I love when I see people who are like literally thriving like in their passion field, because I feel so bad for people who aren't loving their jobs. Mm-hmm. I really do. I'm like, work is so much of our life, and there's going to be frustrations with any type of job you have, but like to not enjoy going to work, like, oh my God.
I was even thinking about that, like when I was ranting about the fucking cake, the cake and cards. Like I hated that job so much, and I stayed in it for way too long. And I know it's like easier said than done, but like honestly, like life's really short, and you never know what's going to happen. So like, if there's something you want to do, like try your ass off to do it. Yeah.
When did you start writing?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a writer, like, and it really didn't start happening for me until I started doing stand-up, ironically, because like, you know, stand-up, I'm kind of like I like doing stand-up, but it was more like a way of like showing off that I'm funny so that people would hire me for writing gigs.
Right. It's kind of like, it's a very complimentary thing to do in addition to the writing. They marry really good together.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, you know, comedy in Canada, like, I mean, I was writing, like, I mean, if you look at the credits of every comedy show in the country, it's mostly stand-up comics,
right?
Which is kind of like a thing I found out later. But I was like writing stuff and like throwing it out there and like trying to get an agent, and no one was hiring me. And then I started doing stand-up, and it was like, oh, MTV's hiring, 22 Minutes is hiring, and then I started getting gigs just from hearing it through like stand-up people. Like I made friends, and like you hear just like, oh, like this place is taking submissions and stuff. So it's just like, it's the best. Like anytime someone asks me for advice on how to start writing, I'm like, do stand-up. Cause like, even, you know, like I'm hoping, not that I have anything to do with the hiring, but like with 22 Minutes, I'm like, there's like such a good community of like really funny people. Like why don't, like, and you know, forever we were kind of like, Travis Lindsay should do warm up. Travis Lindsay should do warm up. And then everyone on the writing staff got COVID, or like didn't get COVID, but got exposed to COVID. And then they had no choice. And they were like, let's bring in Travis Lindsay. And then like to do warm up. And then he fucking annihilated. And he still does. And like, and then they hired him as a writer and like a correspondent and all this stuff. But like, I want them to do that with more people.
Right. Like take their chance on more people.
Well, yeah. Like, and also it costs them less money if people are local. So anyway,
Hey, there you go. So do stand up if you want to get into writing. Is there anything else that like aspiring? I know so many comics here that are like, I want to get into screenwriting and I want to write sketch comedy. What else can people do to like move that forward? I actually have a sketch that I'm very, very proud of that I would fucking love to send to somebody. But I have no fucking clue how to do that.
I mean, I can hook you up with like I can hook you up with the info.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'll do that.
Because like
once this is done.
Because I think there's so many, like when you do stand up, it opens the door for all these other avenues.
Oh yeah.
That people don't realize. Acting too. Mm-hmm. Do you act?
I try to. Not great. I'm not the best actor.
No. I was gonna say, because like, so you talk a lot about like running your own show, wanting to be a showrunner, which by the way, fully support. You'd be amazing. But would you ever want to be like acting in your own show or like?
Well, I mean, like say like for 22 Minutes, like, I mean, they had auditions this summer and they hired Stacey, and Stacey's like the best in the biz. And I was kind of like toying myself. I was like, should I like audition for this? And I was like, in hindsight, I'm like, thank God I didn't, because they all would have made fun of me when they saw my audition tape. But like, no, I actually like, I can deliver a joke really well. I think like, especially if I'm writing it, I know exactly how I want it delivered. And I think I would like nail it on the desk for that show, like a new study shows. Like, and I've got this great voice. I'm kidding, it's terrible. But in terms of like characters, like acting is just such a thing that I have a lot of respect for. And I mean, I feel like you need to study it. You need to take classes. You like need to be in the moment, because when the few times I've tried to do it, it's like, oh, I've memorized my lines and now I'm saying them. Like memorizing your lines alone for me is like incredibly difficult. So like to say other people's lines while like being completely in the moment feels like super crazy. I think I just overthink it. And yeah. So I think that like it's one of those things. Maybe I would have been good at it if I started it young, but at this point I'm like too in my own head to do it.
Memorization is even just with stand-up jokes, I can't seem to memorize. I'm having big time issues with memorization, and I think it's just don't put the work in. I just don't practice enough at home, and I know that's what you're supposed to do. Just literally just practice word for word what you're saying and like repetition and all of that. Mm-hmm. But it's scene actors do that. It's just like,
and there's just like there's a thing that like, if you're doing like an impression, for instance, it's like you can hear things in other people's voices and like their facial expressions that you can choose to like bring out. And I don't have that. I can't be like, I'm going to do my George W. Bush right now. Like I can't.
My gosh. So would SNL be like kind of a goalpost for you? Would you ever want to eventually get there?
Oh, like to write? Definitely not to perform, because I don't think that would be an option. But like, I mean, I almost feel like I'm too old for it now, but I mean, who knows? Like,
who knows?
Like let's not like shut down your goals before they even start. But right? Like, I mean, I've applied for it like a few times.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But like, I haven't gotten it. So whatever.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow. What a world. What a world that is. I'm fascinated about it because I do think, like I said, I think there's so many funny people out there and they don't realize their potential.
Oh, totally.
And it's like, we got to tap into that more and like go for it.
Oh my God. Like, I mean, I'm so glad that there's like, especially more like women doing comedy in Halifax. Cause like, when I first started coming here, it'd be like all dudes. And now like, I think, that show I saw you at when it was like all women, and it was that Halloween show. And I was like, oh my God, this is so nice.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are actually like surging with new comics here right now. And like the ladies' nights, like you can't, like you're not guaranteed to get on every ladies' night show because there is so many. Which is a fabulous problem to have.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, sweet. There's a lot of us now. It's, that show we did at Dark Side also was very,
oh my God.
Someone came up to me after and was like, this should have been a ladies night. Because it was so fun. But like, so you're enjoying getting back on stage, doing stand-up? You're enjoying that?
I do. And then like if I let it go for too long without doing it, I like get scared. I don't know. Like I was actually really interested during like that whole like Just for Laugh showcase process, like seeing people here. Because people seem very stressed out, and and I was just like always like I'm always really stressed out, but like almost to like relieve my own stress, I was kind of trying to tell people, because I've done it before, but like people seem like really stressed out, and so like I found it like very comforting for me to have to be like, there, it's okay, like don't be too stressed, because I get so stressed, but like some people were like really fucking stressed.
Yeah, that whole thing, like I mean, I just kind of sat back and watched it happen, but I was just like, anytime the word showcase is involved in comedy, I think people get stressed.
Oh my God. And like, I love doing stand-ups. I love doing stand-up when there's like no stakes. Like when you're just kind of like, oh, you're doing a show and like there's, 15 people in the audience and like, who cares? Like you're never going to see them again. I'm like, great. Like I'm going to go murder.
Right.
And then as soon as there's like someone there to just like check you out or whatever, like
judge you.
Like, even if it's not like a Just for Laughs person, if it's like, I don't know.
A booker
or like, like if like Ron James is in the audience, like literally, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a person who is good at this thing I'm going to do. I get so stressed.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I just said Ron James. I honestly would be, he's great. He's a great comic. I would be stressed if Ron James was in the audience.
Well, the fact that you have to, I think some people rise to that occasion of like wanting to impress people and they nail it. I buckle under pressure. I'm like, I don't want to know you. I don't want friends and family to be watching me. Like, I don't want pressure.
Yeah. And for me, it's never gone badly. I think it's just like a fear of the unknown. Like I'm always afraid that I'm going to get like, in sports, they call it the yips. Cause I used to play sports and stuff too. And like, and I remember there was one soccer game that I just completely like buckled under pressure. And I had like a wide open shot in front of the net of this like really like high stakes game. And I completely like shanked it over the net. And so I think it kind of goes back to that if we're getting into like my psychology.
Oh, that was a what they call a core memory.
Yeah. And so now I'm like, anything with pressure, I'm always like, am I going to ruin the game for everybody? I don't know.
Fuck. I always say I would love to run a comedy show that the thing about it is the comics can't watch you.
Oh, interesting.
Because I find one of my biggest stresses in stand-up is trying to impress my comedy colleagues. And it shouldn't be, because they're not the audience, bitches. But I do think it would be interesting to see how people do without other comics watching them. And so it's just them and the audience.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because, I mean, I see a lot of comics trying to do that too. Yeah, like just do jokes for like their friends and
playing to the back of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like wanting to impress those people. I mean, but at the same time, so much of like comedy is watching the pros and observing. So like, but this wouldn't be that show.
I don't think I could do the show though, because I don't know if I could survive telling jokes without hearing a Travis Lindsay high pitched like hee hee.
I don't think he realizes how treasured that laugh is.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
It's so great. It's so great. So okay, so you can't take compliments.
Oh yeah, that's where I started from.
You have some issues with pressure.
Yeah,
or feeling pressure. Anything else? Are you happy? Do you have depression? Do you have anxiety?
I don't think so. Like, which is crazy. I mean, like, I have anxiety as much as like any other normal person does, but
yeah, everyone has it.
Like, I had one panic attack in my life. That's it. Like, I feel very lucky that I only had one inside a fucking, oh my God, what are those called? Like it's like this chain of Vietnamese restaurants in Toronto. What? I can't remember. I can't remember, but I was just like, and I mean, I've never really understood panic attacks, or like anxiety attacks. Are they the same thing? Actually, like this is
apparently not, and I didn't know that either.
Okay, because like I mean, I always assumed it was like they were because of something, and then it's just like out of nowhere. It was like I can't breathe. I have to get out of here. Yeah, and then
From what I understand of it, panic attacks are more very serious for a short amount of time. Like it's like, and very physical. Like I can't breathe, world's closing in. And anxiety attacks can be like, you could have an all day anxiety attack, but it's just less, it just feels less like serious in a compressed amount of time, if that makes sense. Cause I used to think I had panic attacks. Turns out I was just like super fucking anxious, and they were more like anxiety attacks.
See, I've been to therapy. Like I went like, I think for like a month, and then my therapist said something weird to me. And then I like, I asked my friends, I was like, is this normal? And then they're like, no, get out of there.
No.
So, and then I just got too lazy to look for another therapist because I just don't want to have another bad therapist. But I do respect therapy like so much, and I'm down. Like I literally have in my phone, find a therapist, and then like the alarm will go off, and then I'm like, I'll do that again soon. Like I just keep putting it off
because it's a big, costly investment.
And I mean, I know that there's Zoom therapy, but I move all the time. Like I've never been in the same place. So it's like really hard to figure out where to get one. Also, I feel like if I'm in LA, like I feel like all therapists there are like crazy. Like, well, I have an audition later, but I'm going to be your therapist for now. Like
trying to make it in Hollywood while also unlocking people's traumas.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Every time I hear someone say my therapist, I'm like, ooh, someone has their shit together.
I'm dying to go to therapy though. Like,
Me too.
I think it's like so important, and I just don't. So like that's why I'm like, I don't know if I am not depressed or have anxiety, but like I'm a pretty well functioning human, I guess.
Well, maybe you've just found a way to deal with the things that you struggle with.
I mean, I think it's the positive music.
Listen, get that serotonin in ya with some Carley Rae, some NSYNC. What are the other names that come to mind when you think of people you're obsessed with? So you said Carley Rae, you've gone through NSYNC.
Like music wise?
Yeah.
Oh my God, who's on my tunes? They'll like every so often they'll be like I'm literally like a child. Like there'll be like one like random like show tune from like a Broadway show that I'll be like, I have to listen to this 700 times. And then I mean I love Britney, I love Christina. It's fun too because like when I was younger, like it was like you can't like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. You can't like Britney and Christina. You can only like one. And then so now I'm like I can like both now because I'm an adult.
Oh my gosh! But you if you had to pick though, gun to your head.
Oh, I'm at Britney and NSYNC all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else is Robin? Obviously, we said Carley Rae. It's mostly like now, like without minus the NSYNC. That's like a lot of like female artists.
Yeah,
I love Ariana Grande.
I love her too.
I'm gonna forget somebody that's gonna drive me nuts. oh God, I'm really back into old Mariah Carey.
Nice. I have a friend whose like whole personality, well, not all of who she is, but a big chunk of her personality is the fact that she's obsessed with Mariah. Everything about Mariah.
My friend, my friend Britt, she looks exactly like old Mariah Carey.
Whoa.
Every time I see her, I'm like, Mariah.
I mean, she's a star, a born star. Truly.
S Club 7. I love S Club 7.
S Club 7. Where are they at now? Are they still around?
Oh no, they're very sad. Like I love a lot of bands that it's like, do not Google them. Then you'll get depressed.
Yikes. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. Like the where are they now?
I'm literally thinking of all the t-shirts that I own.
Oh my God.
Because I'll go see concerts all the time that are like so dumb. Like I went to see Aqua.
I did too. That was so fun.
It was so fun.
Yeah. No, I'm all about the Avril Lavigne is coming to Halifax in May.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm missing that. I'm so sad.
It's so expensive.
She does strike me as the kind of person though that would be like, hi, I'm Avril Lavigne and I'm only playing my new stuff.
You know what? I feared that. I looked up set lists of hers and she does a good mix from what I'm seeing. I will do that before concerts. I'm pretty shameless about that. I will look up what I'm going to hear.
Oh, same. I can't not. It's impossible.
I'm like, I want to be prepared. If a song comes up that like I haven't listened to in a bit, I'm going to feel shitty. So I need to prepare for this. Like it's a test.
Oh my God. Do you know who I saw recently? So my friends from Toronto were like going to Montreal for the weekend and I like met them in Montreal. We went to see Mitski. Do you know who Mitski is?
I don't.
Okay. So many people don't know who Mitski is, but like when people hear about Mitski, you're like, oh my God. Or like, they're like, oh my God, Mitski. But she had like a really big song on TikTok.
Oh.
I was definitely the oldest person at that concert.
Okay.
Besides the friends that I was with. But it's basically like I would describe her as if the girl from The Ring sang pop music.
That's great.
It was really good.
Is it like kind of darker stuff?
It is like more depressing than I typically lean. It's definitely not like S Club.
And follow.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I'll check them out. That's awesome. Yeah. Man, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I could talk about music's like my first love, I feel like.
See, I mean, I love talking about music with you. I usually get embarrassed because so many people are like they don't appreciate the pop.
Well, why is there a stigma on pop music?
I don't know. All I know is that like the heart wants what it wants. And I've tried so hard to like the bands that boys have taught or have told me to like. And I'm like, I can't.
Right? But like,
there's some I like, but you know, I just remember being in university and everyone being like, you got to listen to John Mayer. And I was like,
Wilco, or like Dave Matthews Band.
I mean, I was going to say Dave Matthews Band too, but
right?
Like, oh God. Yeah.
Well, because it was a thing like that. It wasn't cool to like popular music. Like you would be considered a sellout if you liked popular music. And I'm like, I fucking love this shit. I like this shit better than anything else.
Oh my God, me too.
Right?
Yeah, like I just want some Swedish man in a factory to like build me a song that's good.
Are you a Swiftie?
I love Taylor Swift. Yeah. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie in that I'm not like
you're not hardcore.
Stan, but I do love Taylor Swift. I can't.
Okay,
she's undeniable.
Yes. Okay, great. I do like asking people that just because I'm like, I do think that there's firmly two people. Either you're like in or out with Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
And like those who are out are really out.
Oh, I know. But like, I mean, and I used to be kind of like, ooh, she's like, I don't know. I don't even know why. Like, honestly, like the reasons that I probably didn't like her is just because of stuff that the like media like taught me. Like, I mean, it was mostly when she was going through her whole like insincere, like I won an award kind of
the surprise face was such a thing for a time. And like, yeah. And I mean, have you watched the Netflix documentary? Miss Americana, like the documentary about her.
No,
it's really good. I highly recommend. Like, because you'll get a really good look into like just how fucked up things were with like the Kanye stuff, and like she had an eating disorder that she didn't really tell anyone about, and like all of this crazy.
Oh my God, she's so skinny though. I'm like, oh, she can wear clothes. Eating. Yeah. Ugh.
And she was like saying how like that 1989 era was like she was like super skinny, but like she wasn't eating.
And she's like 6 feet tall. Ugh.
I know.
It's like it's the gross like old lady in me, but like when people are that skinny, I'm like, ugh, you're so sick, but it looks amazing.
Right? But yes, I feel the same way. And it feels like it's not cool to be that way anymore. You have to be, it's all about body acceptance, body positivity.
Well, I mean, that's better for everyone.
That is better for everybody.
Like, if you're naturally like 6 feet tall and like 100 pounds, I'm like, and you can still eat food and stuff. Like, my God, I'm so jealous of you because you can also wear a tube top.
Yes. Tube tops were such a thing.
Like, I remember, I just think of Taylor Swift wearing a tube top and like a ball gown skirt to like the Grammys or something. And I'm like, you look so good. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, she was so skinny.
I'm going to drink more of this beer.
But hey, I mean, she's actually like quite a healthy weight at this point. Like it's nice to see. It's nice to see.
And she's friends with Katy Perry again. That's awesome.
That's my girl. That's my.
And none of them are dating John Mayer, which is a great thing for everybody.
That awesome. What a fucking he got a bunch of Jessica Simpson, Katie, Taylor, Jennifer Aniston.
He's such a piece of shit. I hate that guy so much.
Truly.
Listen to the Blind Item podcast I was talking to you about John Mayer. It might only be on the Patreon though, but I'm deep into this.
Are you signed up on the Patreon?
It's so worth it.
Oh my God. I love that.
I'll give you my password. You can use my Patreon.
Love it. Okay.
Do you have a Patreon for this? You should.
I used to, and I don't. Technically I still do, but I just don't have time to like give people extra content. Is my thing. I feel bad. I would feel bad to like ask for money and then like not give any rewards.
Yeah.
That said, the podcast is on a big upswing. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? My thing with the podcast is if you ever like talk to anybody, put in a word for me. But I'm trying to get on comedy networks, like a comedy podcast network, because that would just like increase exposure and all of that.
Oh, totally.
So that's kind of my goal with it. And if I don't get there, I'm going to treat it like how Taylor treated not winning a Grammy for Reputation. And I will just make a better podcast. Like when she didn't get nominated for Reputation, she just said, I'll make a better album. And then she came up with Lover.
Well, the Grammys are messed up.
Oh, yes. I haven't talked about that whole thing on the podcast yet. The Chris Rock and Will Smith thing.
Oh,
that was
slap.
Fucking insane.
Oh, it was nuts.
Yeah. Did you watch it live?
Yes.
Oh.
So that was the night that I went to Yuck Yucks and 2 girls got in a fight during my set. And I was like, oh, this is the craziest thing that will happen to me tonight. And then I also like, I do a joke about how I've never made love to a gentleman with abdominal muscles. And then a guy came up on stage and like showed his abs at me. And
like
I
he
was
got
like,
on the stage?
He got on the stage and like right beside me and like flaunted his abs. And I was like, this show is nuts. And then I went home and I was like, wow, what a crazy night. And then Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the face. And I was like, whoa.
I wasn't watching live or anything, but like I was just on my phone and someone's status was just literally Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. And my first thought was like, oh, it must have been like a really crazy bit. And then,
I thought it was a bit too. Like it looked so fake.
Yeah. And then you watch it and you're like, holy fuck. This is the real deal.
But like, I mean, yeah, you didn't really get a sense because it looked fully like a bit, like a fake, like boom. And then you're like, oh, wow. Like Chris Rock really sold the shit out of that. And then when he sat down and he was like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. It was like, oh boy.
And like just the look on his like Chris Rock's face. Oh my God. I was just like, oh, shit.
And like, you never know how you're going to react in that kind of like, yeah.
It's like almost like you're just stunned.
Oh, totally.
What the fuck just happened?
And like,
I have no idea.
Yeah. No one will ever remember that Oscar ceremony ever again. Like I love the Oscars and I had no idea who won anything.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It's all cray. Okay. Last segment, Heidi. And then I shall release you to the world.
It's not 7 yet, is it?
It is 6:25.
Okay, cool.
So we can wrap her up. Okay, last segment is the unpopular opinion segment. Don't hate me for this, but it's time for an unpopular opinion. And a lot of people will ask me, because they think it's very similar to rant. I I think unpopular opinion is like, what would you say at a house party that would make everyone go and turn like rants are universal. You know, they're a little more universal, but unpopular opinion is like, okay, what do you think that might be considered unpopular?
I mean, I feel like I've already used up all of my like music nerd stuff, but like so I want to talk about NSYNC a little bit more.
Yes, let's do it. I'm gonna actually put it right on you. Give you your moment.
Oh my God.
It's just you.
Okay. So, I mean, I wouldn't even call this an unpopular opinion because I feel like it's the right opinion. But so I, again, like forgot about boy bands for a while, started watching during the pandemic, like NSYNC videos and like live videos again. And then like I saw, so everyone loves Justin Timberlake. And then my favorite is JC Chazé. And I was like, how the hell did anyone not make that guy a superstar? He has the nicest singing voice I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. He's like the best. He's like the male Whitney. I mean, maybe not Whitney, but like he's got the most beautiful angelic voice I've ever heard in my life. Whereas like Justin Timberlake is singing like, yeah. He's got like the most nasal, annoying voice. He's wearing cornrows. He's like beatboxing and stuff. And then I was like, this guy's so handsome. He looked like a Disney prince. Mm-hmm. He's got the most gorgeous voice I've ever heard. He was right there. And even I remember being like, I love Justin Timberlake. He's so hot. And I am just like, how did we not make this person famous? Like, how did we choose Justin Timberlake over JC Chazé?
We slept on him.
We slept on him, and I like got really nerdy about it over the pandemic. And like, like there's people on Twitter who agree with me. I've engaged with them. And yeah, I love that. But like, if I say to people like, well, you know, Justin Timberlake's not even the most talented one in NSYNC, everyone's like, first of all, Heidi, this is like the third time you brought it up NSYNC tonight. Please shut up. But like, it is an unpopular opinion. Like,
it is. Yeah.
There's a person that we allow to be so famous that he continues to like go on Jimmy Fallon and be so annoying, even after he's done such horrible, horrible things. And then there's another guy who just lives in LA, minds his own business, who's just got this voice box that is like, he's still super hot, by the way. I'm like, I just want him to make a comeback so badly. I like check the internet once a week to see if he's like going to make new music. And no.
Did he ever do anything solo?
He did, but I mean, and I've done a deep dive on the internet because like I was really bored during the pandemic, but like it basically was like the record label gave Justin Timberlake like bajillions of dollars to make him a star. And it has a lot to do with Britney. Like he dated Britney and he was really hot at the time, like Britney and Justin, and then gave JC like $5 and wouldn't let him release his album until like 2004.
That's
like
a fucking shame.
Anyway, that is my hot take. That is like, you know, when you just feel gross because you've just been so nerdy and like revealed like the stuff that you do on your, it's like I just revealed like I look at porn all day and I'm like, no, I don't watch that much porn. I just look at like pictures of JC Chazé and I'm like, oh my God, make a comeback already.
How old is he? Let's see.
Oh God, he's like 45. He is pretty old, but
look, he's still looking great. I'm just Googling. He must have kids.
Actually, I don't know.
Maybe not. I feel the same way about Brian from Backstreet Boys. I feel like Nick,
he's like a Trump supporter.
Oh no!
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
So relieve my sort of like grossness right now. Like, is there anything during the pandemic that you just got like really into? Like, what did you do with your spare time? Was there anything that you were like? Were you just a normal person who watched TV, or did you like?
No, I have
do like nerdy stuff.
I have it. It's ASMR.
Ooh,
yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with. Like, I know it's cool to binge shows, and it's shocking to me that I still haven't gotten into RuPaul's Drag Race because I should. And
you'd love it. It's so good.
I know. And yet, what do I do when I have free time? I listen to people tap on microphones. I can't explain it. It's the only thing that makes me relax.
That's awesome.
And like, but it is embarrassing But it's like you pull up my like YouTube like suggested videos. It's just like I just like laid on a couch and I listened to people like whisper to me and I fell asleep.
See, the thing with that, I hate ASMR because
no way.
The same thing that most people get from ASMR, like I've heard it's like your head's being massaged kind of like by
brain
sound.
tingles.
Yeah, brain tingles. But when I listen to it, I get like a shiver up my spine. Like, and it's like it like tickles my back and I like I can't deal with it.
I wonder if you were listening to, was it only in one ear?
I mean, at both ears. It's literally been since I was a little kid too. Like I remember being a kid and hearing specific voices and being like, stop.
I have that.
Oh.
But I also love ASMR. But I find the thing is like if someone's whispering just in one ear, I'll get that.
Oh.
So I have to listen to the ones that are like just like fully mono, like in both ears, because it does that. I know exactly the feeling you're talking about. I also get that.
Well, you're going to get both. Maybe I'm going to like try it.
Maybe you should try it. Like, I don't know. I
haven't listened to it long enough because I just like immediately hear it and I'm like, stop.
Right. You have to be in the right mood though. You have to be in the mood to relax, I think, to like really get into ASMR. But I got very addicted to it like during the lockdowns and stuff. Like it was bad.
I'm going to throw out an insane theory. But I heard that with the stuff that I have like with the back weird tingles and stuff, it's because you were born premature. Were you born premature?
I was born a day late.
Okay, maybe the theory is wrong then.
Oh, that's interesting though. I wonder why.
I don't know. I like sometimes Google stuff and I'm like, even though like I literally work on like a political satire show that is like, let's like be smart about this. Like, let's like, no misinformation.
Yeah.
But then in my spare time, I'm like, oh, like people get back tingles because they're born premature. Also like, Justin Timberlake did 9/11.
Well, there's all that. Yeah. TikTok's not great for all that. Like TikTok will throw out like really crazy theories. Like there was one theory going around that like if you had a certain freckle on your arm, you were a witch. So it's like this video of like, do you have this? And I actually think I have it. I think it's this one.
Well, I'm a witch. Oh, I have one too. I'm a witch.
Right? It's just like these stupid. I truly think you could make up one, and if you say it with enough confidence on TikTok, it'll take off.
That's so funny.
So you should start this. You should start the ASMR premature, and then people will start coming out of the woodwork, being like, "Oh my god, she's right."
And then I'll go huge on TikTok. Oh,
you on the TikTok?
I observe. I do not create content. Although, like, I mean, yeah, there's a whole thing with LA and like comedy shows. Like, I'm not trying to be a comic down there, but it sounds so annoying. Like, if you want to get on shows, they like look at your TikTok numbers and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god,
really? In LA? Shit.
Yeah, it's like social media is like a big thing down there, and it sounds so irritating. Anyway.
Oh man. Well, maybe we'll see Heidi on the TikTok.
I know. So many reluctant talks. I'll be like,
but you never know what might like blow up. You never know. You can just do it, see what happens.
Yeah, I gotta find my thing.
I mean, your thing could be you could talk celebrity stuff.
I feel like a lot of people do that though. Maybe I'll just do a dance. I'll dance. That'll be my thing.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Well, this was an absolute joy.
This is so fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for doing it. I'm so glad that I got my first comic back.
Yeah.
First comic on the podcast. Now returning for another episode. Thank you so much. And where can people keep up to date with you?
Not on TikTok.
Not on TikTok. She's not on the TikToks.
I'm on Twitter.
Oh, yes, Twitter.
At Heidi Brander. I just deleted my Facebook because it was my birthday recently and I do not like it when people wish me happy birthday on the internet. I don't know why. Birthday? It's like March 25th.
Yeah. Happy belated.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm so weird. I'm like, old acquaintances. No, thank you. Don't wish me happy birthday. So I like deleted my Facebook. But then I'm on Instagram at Heidi Brander. My lucky thing is that my name is pretty unique. So most of the Heidi Branders are me.
Brander. Yes. On the subject of birthdays, I'm one of those people, I want it to be like you and be like, nah, I don't care. On my birthday, which was March 5th, both March babies, I was like, why is no one writing on my wall? And I got so pissy about it. And I got in this bad, cranky mood. Found out that I had a setting turned off. It was the weirdest
so
moment.
unpopular.
It was just like I don't care about birthday greetings, but I'd like a couple wall posts, and like I got so like I take my birthdays very seriously. Do you take birthdays like? Are you intense about your birthday?
I was like, it's like the theme party thing. Like I was in my 20s and then I turned 30 and had like literally the best party I've ever had in my time. It was wig themed and I had a bucket of wigs, and if like everyone had to wear a wig, and if they weren't wearing a wig, there was a bucket that they could just like take a wig from, and it was just like so much fun. It was so much fun. That was my 30th birthday, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. Like birthdays are done for me.
30 is a big one, so it's a good one to like go out on a bang with. But that's a phenomenal idea. Wig party. That's so fun. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I gotta let Heidi go, but like, thank you so much again.
Thanks for having me.
So fun.
I love our music talks.
I still think we should start a Carley Rae podcast. I'll hold you to it. It's so fun. I just love talking music. We could talk about it all night. So thank you for also scratching my itch of pop music. And do the honors, Heidi. Actually, hold up the bell. I actually didn't ring the bell at all.
What does that mean?
The bell is like positive reinforcement. I should have been ringing it. Ding-a-da-ding! That means we're done.
Cool.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the Intoxicated Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast app you use and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast, and check out our video episodes on the Intoxicated YouTube channel. Until next week, feel hard and talk hard. Intoxicated Podcast is hosted and produced by Sarah McClellan, co-produced by Sarah Nicole, and brought to you by the messiness of life.